The Giannis, I know you tweeted out about the Giannis 8-3. Like, what the hell is going on here? This is like bizarro world stuff.
The Mismatch, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook.
I tell you this, Kev. I have never, ever had higher expectations for a series that has disappointed me more than this series. It's been terrible. It really has. It's been 2 runouts. And then tonight, it wasn't great defense like that these teams were playing. You're sitting there and you're watching it. And I chronicled on Twitter at one point, I tweeted out, I mean, there was like, this is game on the line stuff. And they went Giannis, bricked 3, Lopez, airballed 3, PJ Tucker, wide open, bricked 3. Then it was Middleton, contested 13-foot baseline jumper. And I'm like, what? They're playing Blake Griffin. And that's it. That's the only big guy they have. Like, I just bitched about this in our Tuesday show. If you want to be big, be big. But they play big guys, and they act small. And the Giannis, I know you tweeted out about the Giannis 8-3. Like, what the hell is going on here? This is like bizarro world stuff. And, they had some good stuff. If you will sign up for Kevin Durant scoring 30 points if it's on 28 shots, and Kyrie scoring 22 if it's on 22 shots. And, they only put Brooklyn on the line 8 times tonight, which is a big win. I mean, there was some good stuff, but that game was not a good basketball game, and Milwaukee was lucky to come out.
Big time. They were very fortunate to come out and not be down 3-0 at this point. And, you're back in it. You're back in it. You get an opportunity with another game, home game here for game 4 to even it up. And then who knows with a 3-game series the rest of the way. I still look at this Bucks team and I think, let me say this first. The great takeaway for Bucks fans is this. Drew Holiday, 46 minutes. Chris Middleton, 44 minutes. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 43 minutes. Bud played his best players over 40 minutes, which is a huge win for Bucks fans everywhere who root for this team and only see these guys on the court for 35, 36 minutes. So that's a really, really, really good thing. And even though Giannis took 8 3-pointers, which is whack and should not be allowed, the coaching staff needs to say, like, chill out here, stop taking these, this can't happen, attack the rim. Even though Blake Griffin had some great possessions against Giannis on those drives, for the most part, good things happen when Giannis attacks the basket. He can score, draw fouls, get kick-out opportunities.
But that's the bad thing that happens.
Chances.
That's the bad thing that happens. What'd they say? He's like 7 for 35 in the playoffs. It was something terrible, like from free throws. Like that is one bad outcome. He said when he gets fouled, he can't make them. And he got the stupid penalty again tonight. The clock.
10-second violation. How do they not call that every time? I actually agreed with Jeff Van Gundy's thoughts during the game. It's like you don't call it all season long, and then it comes to the playoffs and suddenly you start calling it. It doesn't make sense. Like either change the rule or police it the entire season.
Well, and you saw in that last game, Brooklyn was having fun with it, and the NBA made them stop. They were like, all right, if you're not going to let us have like the Giannis, they started doing the countdown.
Yeah.
The fans did like 10, 9, 8, you know what I mean? Like counting it down with Giannis, and they like tried to put an end to that. And it was like, all right, so what? Are you just deciding you're not going to call this anymore?
It's pretty weird.
And then you fast forward to this game and they call it again.
Yeah, they call it once and then he's over 10 seconds every time anyway. And it's just, you don't call it again. It's a weird rule to begin with. Maybe they should change it. But
in fairness, what the F takes so long? You miss them all anyway.
I mean, it's about routine.
Up. It's a routine that doesn't work is what I'm saying. It's a routine that doesn't work. Like speed it up and maybe you'll make some of them.
Change it up here. But yeah, that was just a very weird game. The poor shooting, 6 for 31 from Milwaukee from 3, 8 for 32 for the Nets from 3-point range. Joe Harris, a 1 for 11 stinker of a performance for him. And it's weird because Bruce Brown, that final minute, had the 2 shots that he took that he should not have taken, but he's like one of the only reasons they were in the game to begin with. He played really good defense all game, had that stretch earlier in the game when he hit like a 3 or 4 floaters over Brook Lopez in a row. He played good defense, made smart passes, and then just in the last minute had some big time mistakes that changed the way we talked about his performance. But, you know, it certainly took some of the heat off of Joe Harris with his 1 for 7 from 3, 1 for 11 from the field. The Nets, you know, I still think they're going to win the series. My perspective doesn't change there. But you can't rule out Milwaukee figuring some stuff out with their size.
I got to give Chris Middleton his props. I slammed him after those first 2 games. He was miserable. He's had a lot of down playoff moments over the course of the last couple of years, but he showed up huge for this one. The rebounding was huge too. What did he grab? 15, I think, 15 rebounds out of him, and he had
15,
the 30.
Yep.
Yeah, and he had the 35 points. I can't get it out of my head. Bill and Russillo were talking about this topic. I guess it was on whatever their Monday pod or Sunday that they do, and when they got to the Middleton subject, it's all I've been thinking about since I heard them talk about this, because they couldn't figure out what quarterback to compare him to. But the Middleton thing and how it's so much like an Alex Smith or somebody like that, where it's if you have an opinion on Alex Smith, or you had an opinion on Alex Smith, that if you just wait around, you're going to get your moments to be right, and you're going to get your moments to be wrong. And so you'll watch Monday Night Football, and he'll throw for 365 yards and 4 touchdowns. You'll be like, I told you Alex Smith was awesome. And then the next week you'll play against the Bears, and he's got 136 yards and 2 picks. Again, it's like, I told you Alex Smith sucked. And I really can't get that out of my head with the Middleton thing, because it's like, he does have this, like these 35 and 15s, which are just gargantuan numbers in a must-win situation. And then he has the games like game 2 where they're getting beat by 1,000 and he can't hit anything. And so I don't know what to make of it all. I do know this. They got nothing out of their bench. Nothing. Will they get 4 out of Portis? None out of Forbes.
And then 2 out of Connaughton.
I mean,
they got a great defensive play from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, he did have a good block.
I think he played like 1 possession, yeah.
Yeah, but that's not sustainable. And we talked about losing DiVincenzo. It's a big one. It's big. Mm-hmm. It's big for them, and it's big for that depth. But I don't think – I'm going to let it play out and see what game 4 is. I mean, you know, maybe they did find something defensively, even if they didn't offensively. Maybe they found something defensively, and just with the extreme amount of minutes those guys are going to play, they're going to be able to keep Brooklyn in a much more reasonable range to be able to, you know, play with, score with.
Yeah.
You know? And
I'll tell you this, you know, I think the defense, it's possible, and then offensively with Middleton, they ran more pick and rolls with him than they have in any series this against the Nets. In game 1, they ran 21 pick and rolls with Middleton. In game 2, they ran 18. And then in game 3, 27. Running the offense through Middleton, even though sometimes it didn't look great. They had a couple of turnovers with the Giannis setting screens that didn't work out. For the most part, I think this is a formula for success moving forward for the Milwaukee Bucks to run more offense through Chris Middleton. I believe it will lead to more potent results. Well, so we'll see if this trends upward for them.
And the Brooklyn defense is not good. We have a large sample size that, and Milwaukee has just played so poorly during this series that they haven't really put pressure on their defense. I mean, again, if you're going to let Giannis and Brook and PJ Tucker all just spread out around the 3-point line and shoot threes, it's like you are playing right into their hands, because they can play small and for their offense, and you're not making them pay for it. And so the lack of going to the basket, they should be murdering them in paint points, murdering them, and it's confounding, to say the least. But they got away with the win, and you never know. The crowd was great. I didn't think they played well either. Obviously, their three-point percentage has been abysmal. They got game 4 and tied it up. It wouldn't shock me. I mean, I'm holding out hope that series can get good because it's been a massive letdown so far.
I hope so.